Howdy everybody, it is FRUGEE, and today we're going to take a nice hike, a winter valley hike. Let's get into this. Make sure you have your water, make sure you have your jackets on, make sure that you're nice and toasty, nice thermos with some hot chocolate inside. We're going to go on a walk, and let's get this started, alright? Alright, we're right here. Pretty quick walk, actually. I'm not speaking. Look at this nice, beautiful Aurora Borealis. What the? What's that? We're gonna go to the mountaintop. We're gonna go to the frozen pond, spike field, the big pine cone, and the my hair is kind of wild. A big pine cone and the lumberyard. Let's start walking. We're on our way. We got some beautiful music going on. I think it's actually a little loud. Let me just. There you go. Okay, we're good. That's an Aurora Borealis. We got some beautiful fog. I cannot see anything past this fog. Dude, my hair. Can it just stay down? Okay. We got some trees. Some gorgeous graphics. Looking really nice, actually. I'm liking the style of art. It's not realism. It's a little bit more in that realm of. I don't know. Artificial, I guess, but it's very nice. It's like getting bordering cell shaded. It's not quite there. It's getting there. And since we're walking through, nice little hike. There's some trees. I want to be able to see some wildlife, but those rocks are. Oh, what the? Someone chiseled this shit, man. Holy. So a nice walk through the map. Okay, we're chilling. We got. Let's see if we can find our way to some of these locations. It'd be really nice to see what spike field even means, but I have to wait till. Okay, what is that in the corner of the screen, man? Let me zoom in on that real quick. Like, what is that? Anyways, let us keep on walking, stretching through this snowy wonderland. You see, I'm from Canada, and we don't get the snow like this now where I am at. But so it's definitely nice to be able to experience this through a game rather than real life. You know, this could be the future as we know it. You know, VR may allow us to visit places in which we cannot. You know, and that hopefully is going to be a very fun experience in the future. Right, we're at the mountaintop. This is the top of the mountain. I can see a few mountains that I'm not on top of, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that glitch is over there, but we're gonna keep on stretching. Yeah, so honestly, it actually is winter right now. It's gonna snow later tonight, but I'm not going outside, man. That's cold, man. Like, for what? Maybe I want to play some snowball fights, but you know what? Maybe that's for another time. Right now, we are venturing. Oh, we can sprint. Oh, let's go quick, man. Let's see where else we can get to. We're right now at the mountaintop, so I assume everything else is going to be located in a different spot from here. It's gonna be. We're gonna maybe pass by a couple of these locations on our way to, I don't know, the bottom of the mountain, I guess. Or Borealis, right? Is that what that is? There's like some green noxious like gas, man. It's like radiation. You just get this might be the ice age for all I know. I like the sky though. It looks really nice. With the clouds, I think those are clouds, like streams. But I'm chilling. Alright, we got another rock over here, looking kind of perfect for no reason. Like, I don't know how this snow works, but I guess it's how snow is. I mean, if you've never seen snow, you could very well think that would make sense. But given all the snow, yeah, like this doesn't quite make sense. But who am I to judge? This might just be a different part of the world that I'm not familiar with. Okay, lumberyard. We're at the lumberyard. Lots of wood. Oh, oh, ain't that a... I don't know, winter you can go through trees and stuff, right? They can't go through this tree, but if they're cut, I can go through them. I guess that in itself is very reminiscent of what happens in nature. You know, I like to just walk through lumber on my time off. Very nice. Very, very nice. Here we've reached one of the outer edges of the world, so I think we gotta start walking inwards. I would like to see big pine cone. I don't know what that means, if I'm gonna see a giant one or just like a rather large pine cone. The pine cones are what, maybe like what, maybe 3 inches large, which would be about like 6-7 centimeters. Something like that. But I'm searching. I'm definitely searching. I wonder if that's the location I'm supposed to be, that giant rectangle on the corner over there. Anyways, let's keep searching. We're on a nice height. Atmospheric, very calm. Especially from playing all those horror games. This is serene. I'm definitely enjoying this in terms of just calming down. Those games, they round me up. Like horror games, okay, I love watching horror games. Right, they're very nice to watch. But I just playing them, man, it's just like, whoa, that is such a big jump. It's different when you watch someone else play. You're not invested as they are. You're not as immersed. You know, you're trying to gauge their reaction. You're trying to see what's happening, but not when you're playing. You are the reaction. I am so scared. Like something could jump out and it's at you, not a like if you're watching like I don't know Markiplier, man. Like you see the thing jump at him, and you're like, oh shit, you got to be, of course, you know, it scares you too, but like it's different because he gets attacked. That's what it is. He's getting attacked. So when you're playing these games, it's like I'm getting attacked by these things. Like I'm telling you, this stuff is scary. It's horror games like that, but I have a lot of fun. You know, we got some more horror games coming up, right, throughout these months, right. Right now I'm playing Toytopia right now. It's scary game. We got some more games coming up. And we got some fresh releases coming up. We got some fresh videos coming up. We got some nice reactions coming out of there. We got some nice videos going on. But I'm still looking. I have not found anything else. I'm at the mountaintop of the lumberyard. I cannot find anything else, man. There's my big pine cone. Oh, is that the frozen pond I see? Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, let's see the frozen. Oh. Oh, now that's a view. We're just. Now that's a. Let me just hit it with a. Okay, that's a wallpaper right there. Now, don't mind me. I'm just going to be enjoying as much as I can out of this game. Oh, I gotta. Like, is this even a game? I wouldn't call this a game. It's more like an experience, a simulation rather. This is doing something that you wouldn't do. You could totally do, but you wouldn't do in real life, maybe. Or you would. You know, some people would, and I totally get that. And I think I would actually. I think I'd be very tired. Like I'm not that out of shape. Like I'm out of shape. I definitely gotta hit the gym a little more. You know, start doing some cardio. You know. But I definitely could go on a trek. Actually, like I have climbed Mount FRUGEE. Of course, we started halfway, so from there I saved about 5 hours because it took about 5 hours to climb to the top. It was very beautiful, very beautiful. Looking down into the crater, it's like you want to jump. I don't know why. I think it's just some like psychology thing. It's like you see something high, you're at a high place and you want to jump. You get that? I get that. Do I like that? Not quite. Because I don't want to. I don't want to jump. But it's just my body has this urge to just like jump into it. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, what are we saying? Like, I'm scared of it. Like, I'm not scared of heights. But I'm scared of the thought of the height hurting me. You know? Does that make sense? That makes sense? Yeah. So it's like, I'm not trying to get myself hurt, of course. You know? I'm trying to get a feel for it, try to get a view for it, try to see what's happening. And of course, as a result, I'm gonna stop myself from crossing that bridge, you know, that metaphorical bridge. Anyways, so back to this snowy world. It's very nice. I'm liking it. I kind of want a little more direction, but that's the point of a hike, right? Is my video game brain wants me to just get a map out and find exactly where to go. But that's not the point of a hike. The hike is to experience the environment, right? We're trying to see what it is, or it's more like we're trying to see how it is developed as an ecosystem, right? We're trying to see, I haven't seen any animals, so for all I know, this is a post-apocalyptic location where we are just stretching across, and as a result, from what I can tell, it's very peaceful. I'm back at the lumberyard. That's not quite where I want to be. But, you know, we can see that there's something happening. Maybe nothing's happening here. Maybe this is just a safeguarded location where they keep out the animals, right? Maybe we've got a nature reserve for what we know. And, you know, sometimes animals can cause the destruction of a habitat, right? And maybe this is a controlled facility. A facility in more of a sense of like not a literal facility. Like, I'm sure we're outside, but there's something off. There's something off. But if anything, this is nice because there's also the fear that if there were animals, well, I gotta run, right? Like, what if there's a bear? That's dangerous. Now, of course, things like fawn, deer, you're not going to be as necessarily in peril from that. You're not going to be as scared. You're going to be a little more open to the thought of meeting deer. We're at the mountaintop. I think I'm just going to circle around the edge and just see what I can find. And so far, we're just walking around, enjoying what this has to give us. We're just enjoying this little trek that we have set forth. We got some nice snow, we got some trees, and that's just kind of the entire location as a whole. But I think this is rather nice, and it's just like, if anything, with how fast I'm moving through the snow, because if you've ever walked in snow, you'd know it's tough. Usually you'd be wearing heavy equipment, like shoes on, I can't see anything. Like, usually you would be wearing a lot of, you know, clothing to make sure that you're kept warm. You're going to be wearing heavy boots so that your feet don't get wet, because once the snow gets your shoe, oh, it's freezing then. That melts, but it doesn't ever evaporate. It just stays mushy, cold, inside you, and your sock is just wet, and that's not a nice feeling. Maybe someone enjoys it. I don't. Someone could. But even if you did, that's a possibility of frostbite or hypothermia. You know, you're starting to expose yourself to these dangers of the cold. Because let's be honest, right? It's like, this world is not a safe place. Even the most safe things could cause you harm, right? Like, let's say, for example, water. I love water. It's so tasty. I'm gonna drink some water right now, actually. Hey, very tasty. Water's very tasty. However, you heard about the ocean? Now, of course, I could say, oh, well, in the ocean, you know, there's these giant creatures. Okay? You got these sharks who got whales, and they could easily just eat you up. Just hold. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about water. If you're in the ocean, the water can kill you. And that's not to be scared of the water, of course. Right? That's why we learn to swim. Right? That's why we have an understanding of the salt water. The salt water is dangerous for us. Right? The salt can dehydrate us. If we were to drink this, we may know due to science, and maybe you don't know, but we know that because of the high salt content in the water, your body tries to compensate and to balance that. But as a result, it needs to draw more water from you because our bodies are not as salty as the ocean. So if you drink the ocean water, you are going to lose water. Funnily enough, it sounds kind of ironic in a way, but definitely it's just the reality of things. And that's not even including the fact that, okay, let's say you're swimming. Let's say you get a foot cramp, and now you're going to drown in this water, and that is, of course, that is not something that we want to experience. However, the reality of the situation is that if that happens, this water is going to kill you. You're going to drown. You are going to drink up the water in attempts to gather air. Right? So you're going to get dehydrated from that. You're going to not be able to swim. Right? Some people can tread water with just their arms. I can do that. Not for too long a period, but I can definitely do that. But that's something that I cannot keep up for a long period of time. So as a result, if I were in a situation where my leg cramps up, I would be able to survive maybe half an hour. Maybe I could float, as human bodies, we are capable of floating on water. But I definitely won't be able to sustain for too long. And I'm sure no one can. I'm sure eventually everyone has a limit. So even this thing that's as safe and even healthy as something like the water is something that actually is something that can cause damage to your body. Something that can injure you, something that can cause you to potentially lose your life. And of course, that's not something that we want. Right? This is why we have measures. So we have boats, because at the end of the day, we are only human. And if I want to take a boat that takes me straight to the Caribbean, take me straight to an island off to the side that may be only an hour away from the boat, swimming that would be near impossible for the majority of people. Like, there are definitely people who can swim for multiple hours, right? But that's not the majority, so to that end, it's more of a situation where we need certain things to help us, right? And don't get me wrong, I love the planet, but there are just certain things that I think we may need to understand that have to be sacrificed for our ease of life, right? Like, I have family that live in Japan, so my only way to get to them is essentially an airplane. And that burns fuels, right? There's carbon emissions from that, but this is a sacrifice I need to make if I want to preserve that connection that I have with my family. And it is something that I have to take into account, and of course, I'm causing harm to the planet through this video, honestly. But there's this kind of thing where it's like, okay, to what end? Do I have to make sacrifices in order to both enjoy myself, but also what's the upper limit, right? Here's an example. I could theoretically have a great time burning things, right? Let's say I love to go out, maybe go find the nearest beach, and I just have a pile of twigs, papers, and logs, and I could make my own bonfire. And that could be great fun, and I'm sure people would, if you had a group, that would be great. You could burn marshmallows, you could tell stories, you could just enjoy a peaceful time. But at the same time, those are carbon emissions that you're causing. You are potentially inhaling these toxins that are getting burnt. And is that something that you want to venture into? Is that something that's worth it to you? And it could be for some people. And I will not hold anyone accountable in that sense, where it's like you're not allowed to have fun. I think with life you should be able to have fun. There are lots of pains in life. There's lots of things that can cause you suffering, right? And these things that cause you suffering may not be good for you, right? And conversely, they may be good for you. Like if your parents yelling at you, at the same time, oh, my parent, they don't know it. And that could be true. They don't understand the current world. But at the same time, they're trying to guide you as best as they can. Maybe they don't know this world. Maybe they don't understand this current situation that society has imposed on us. But even so, they have experienced society. And maybe it's not too different. Maybe certain things have changed immensely and certain things haven't. So they're there to try to guide you to be the best that you can be, to understand that maybe they don't have the answers for it. But that's kind of the idea, is that they're trying to show you their truth, their reality. And of course, it may not in line with the reality of life. Might be not the situation, might not be applicable, but food for thought. It gives you leverage, it gives you an idea, it gives you something to hold on to. You know, for example, in science, there was a long period of time where we thought that our bodies were just bags of blood. And this was like the 1800s. Maybe before, I might be a little bit wrong on my information, but the concepts are there. And they thought that blood just diffused throughout the body through osmosis, which means it's just like the body just balances out and it's just filled with blood. You poke a hole, you will bleed because you're just a balloon of blood. And while for a long period of time that was true, right? In the eyes of the people, that was true. Of course, it's not the reality of the situation, but as a result, it did bring up some good, right? Don't cut yourself. Why? Because you're going to bleed, and if you bleed, you cause harm to your body because you're going to lose blood, and that's true. And that's true. But of course, that's not the entire truth, right? We understand now that there's veins, there's arteries, right? Our heart pumps blood to the rest of our body, and we're not just a bag of blood. We have muscle, we have skeleton, we have a lot going on inside. But how would we know that if not through trial and error, right? So it's with that information, you want to take as much as you can, but also be open to change, right? Not everything that you know is the truth is the truth. I think an easy example is if you may have a friend, and there's a lot that you don't know about them, and there's a lot that you do. Maybe you think your friend, oh, what do you think their favorite pizza is? And maybe you don't know the answer, but maybe you can take a good guess. Now, your friend likes to eat meat. Maybe your friend likes mushrooms. So chances are they'll probably like a nice mushroom meat pizza, right? They like with the pepperoni, maybe it has bacon on it, right? And it's got, I've been here already, what are we talking about? You know, and maybe it's got all that good stuff. And you know that they'll enjoy those ingredients. So maybe they'll enjoy that pizza. Unbeknownst to you, they don't like cheese. So maybe they don't like pizza at all. Or they don't like the tomato sauce. But your guess was as good as any other. But at the same time, if anything, your guess was better than any other, because a random person could guess a favorite pizza. You'd probably say cheese or pepperoni. Very, very simple. And we know, of course, that it's so much more than just that. Even a person who likes just cheese and pepperoni, they definitely can enjoy other things on top of their pizza. Hot sauce is a great example. Right? If someone is okay with spicy foods, hot sauce typically amplifies the enjoyment that someone would have on their pizza, and it would be something that makes it taste better to them. But at the same time, this is the concept that there is a truth, and you may not have the full picture, but regardless, you are going to do your best to be the most right that you possibly can, and you're going to do your part in trying not to hurt people, right? Because there are going to be values that you may have that other people don't have, and vice versa, right? And we're going to do our part in trying to respect one another. And maybe someone has this idea that I don't like, maybe it's something that bothers me, but it's not something that bothers them, and maybe it's something that they hold deeply, and even though we are against it, it's not our duty to correct people, but it's our duty to guide people. So maybe someone has this wrong idea about something. You're not trying to change their idea, you're trying to show them another perspective, and it's up to them if they want to take upon it themselves to change that idea. Now, of course, this goes without saying, is that this kind of plays into many different aspects of life, right? We've got religion, for example. We've got gender and sex in current society. We've got a lot of different topics that we can get into, but we don't have to, right? I'm sure that I share different beliefs in those categories than anyone watching this video, and maybe we share the same beliefs, maybe we have exactly the same beliefs, but maybe we have exactly the opposite beliefs. And even so, I am not going to try to impose my beliefs onto others. I am just going to share what I think while still trying to be respectful. I think a great example is if we want to keep it simple, is video games. What is the best genre? Well, if you think of it objectively, there's about 2 to 3 ways that you can actually come to a conclusion that would be accepted by many. Right? There's the most popular genre. Right? There's the most statistically well sold genre, right? The genre that gets the most money, right? And then there's also your personal beliefs, right? These are the 3 ways, right? Like, for example, I love fighting games. I think they bring the best in me. I think that I'm the most comfortable with those games. So to me, that's the best genre. Now, if you look in terms of money, right? That's #1 top-selling game of all time, Minecraft. What would that mean? Okay, then maybe first person, maybe not strictly building, because there's other top games like Call of Duty, right? Or maybe first person games would be the top games of all time, right? The most sold game of all time. And then you look at to what is the most popular, and yes, everyone's played Minecraft, but is it the most popular? Not necessarily. I think it can be on the wide scope of things, and actually maybe it is. I could be very well wrong, and that's the thing, is that I could be wrong and I might be giving you misinformation. And you need to understand that that could be true for any type of information that is handed to you. That anyone can be saying things, and maybe they sound right, maybe they sound true, maybe they apply, and you can actually see real world examples of this happening, this truth that you are witnessing being true, right? But that shouldn't stop you from growing, from learning, from understanding that there's more than just one truth, right? 1 + 1 = 2. Well, 1 + 1 can also equal a happy relationship, right? So there's many different perspectives to look through, and it's your duty to be open to that. And maybe it's wrong for me to tell you what your duty is, because who am I to tell you what your duty is? If you're religious, I'm not the one that you would listen to for your duty. There's a higher being that you believe in, and that's the person that you would listen to. If you're not religious, maybe that higher being is your parents, maybe it's not your parents, maybe you have a mentor, an older brother, older sister, someone to guide you, and maybe they are the ones who show you how you think the life is, and you think that the way they think is the right way, and that's completely fair. And it's not in my place to take that away from you, to say that they're wrong. They could be, but at the exact same time, they could not be very well. I could be wrong. Oh, I'm wrong all the time. I get into arguments very often with my friends and family where I later learn that I'm wrong. And of course that doesn't stop the argument from happening, but it allows us to reconcile, to be like, okay, there are things that I've said that I was wrong about, and this is what I was wrong about. And then they'll say, okay, fair enough, you know, it's good that you can see that you're wrong in certain aspects, but at the same time, you were right about this. And I'd be like, okay, fair enough. And I'd be like, this one thing that you talked about was very wrong. And they're like, oh, why do you think that? And then we start talking back and forth, and we come to a better conclusion. We come to an agreement that, okay, there were aspects that I have spoken to and aspects that they have spoken to in which that I am not entirely right, and they're not entirely right. And if anything, it's an opportunity to grow, to further understand each other, but also to further our own perspectives, our own ideas behind it, to strengthen our minds, to see the truth for what it is, a reality that allows for us to live both in harmony, but to also have an understanding that we're not always right. We're going to be wrong. But the point is, you're not supposed to be right. If you're always right, what does that make you, right? It means then there's nothing wrong with always being right, except for one thing, and that's a lack of growth. And I think the idea is to keep growing. As you keep growing, you'll get better as a person, you'll get smarter, you'll have wider ideas, you'll be able to talk better, you'll be able to think better, make better decisions along the way, and there's just a whole host of different things that come, benefits that come from growing, right? And it works both ways. You need to understand that there's both growth, but it's not, life isn't exactly a video game. I think many aspects you can compare it to. I think the very easy example is learning. You learn something, experience. Now the difference is in video games, you maintain. But in real life, you can forget things. You can be wrong about something that you used to be right about, because for some reason you changed your perspective on things. You changed an idea, and as a result, you're wrong. But that's okay, and that's the point of growth, is that we are going to be forgetting certain knowledge. We're going to be remembering things wrong, right? And we're going to be remembering things right. And you are trying to find this middle ground where maybe you're going to forget something, but maybe you've written it down. Maybe you have links to it. Maybe there's some article that you read and maybe you kind of misinterpreted it, and that's when you go back and check it again. Try to get a deeper understanding for yourself. And it just allows you to just better yourself as a person, to grow, to just understand that not everything is going to go your way. There are many parts of life where we think one thing is going to happen and another thing happens. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But the idea is to keep pushing. You know, maybe your parents want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, but you don't want to be that. And that's okay, right? But the idea is that your parents want you to think for yourself, but also they want you to have success. So you need to understand that they're not trying to be controlling, even if they are, and that they are trying to show you their reality. Maybe it's not the same now, maybe it's not the way to do it now, but the idea is to give you perspective so that you can have a deeper understanding. So that you have a better method of being able to think for yourself, a better method of being able to understand what you want to do. And that's growth. And that's growth. Oh my god, we're back at the pond. And bro, I'm trying to find the big pine cone and a spike peel. This is turning into a podcast. Well, anyways, back to what we were talking about. And that's just kind of the reality of the situation that we are presented in. We are not chosen to be born. We can't choose to, well, maybe we are chosen, but we don't choose to be born. We are given this gift of life. And for some it's a gift, for some it's a curse. And the idea is that ultimately you have the choice. You can keep pushing for your goals, taking risks and sacrifices along the way, and that may benefit you, and for some people it may, and some people it won't. But even still, that's the choice that you make, right? If you live in a first world country, you have the luxury of choosing to live idly and passively, and you also have the luxury to pursue your goals, your dreams. We've come across what I believe is a spike field. Yeah, there's no way this is so spiky, man. Holy, this looks really cool, actually. I think I'm gonna take a picture of this. Yeah, this is very nice. I like this. Very beautiful game. I think this is great. Yeah, I think that's good. So the point of the matter is that you have the choice. You don't need to listen to your parents, of course. Of course. Should you? I think you should hear them. Personally, and of course, you do not have to share the opinion. You can completely disagree. And I think every case is different. I think some people have parents that are lovely and that do really wish the best for their children. I think some parents, there are selfish parents, right? Just like there are selfish individuals. And in those cases, I cannot make the decision for you. That is completely up to you. And with that being the case, it's a matter of understanding that you are trying to gather knowledge. You're trying to gather to decide. You're trying to make your own choices. You're trying to figure it out yourself. And you're also trying to understand just why. Why that is the start. Can I come back to the start? I think I did. This doesn't look familiar. Well, maybe it is. This is the one I walked through earlier. Well, it's a mountain over there. Yeah. So let's see. We need to find the big body. That's all that's left. And we'll get there. I'll just keep talking for now. Feel free to keep listening. And honestly, that's the reality of the situation, is that we don't know. Our parents don't know. But what we need to know is that there are going to be people that are going to be on our side. There are going to be people that aren't. So it's up to you to make that decision. Right? Cutting off this topic that has been on the internet, and it's like cutting off the right people. And of course, that comes with a price. There's always going to be cases where there are going to be people that you love, people that you care about, people that you have fun with, and they may not be the best influence for you. That doesn't mean you should cut them out, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't either. You need to make that decision that there are going to be better times or worse times, and maybe cutting someone out is the way, maybe it isn't, and that's what you need to decide. Is that, okay, if you were to cut them out, does that allow you to... Oh wow, found it. Does that allow you to grow? Does that allow you to prosper? Does that allow you to enjoy life? Does it give you... Maybe there's a bad influence and that person doesn't impact your life in a positive way. And that's fine if you don't want to cut them out, because what does that mean? Is that maybe that means you have a way to express yourself. Maybe that person gives you that opportunity to express yourself. Maybe that person puts you in danger, but it gives you the most freeing feelings. Maybe you don't find it allows you to expel and vent out parts of you that maybe you don't want other people to see, and that could be a positive thing. And then you kind of have to just understand, like, is that person actually trying to help? It might be the opposite. Maybe it feels like your parents are controlling, or your friend, or your sibling. Then maybe you need to actually, maybe it just feels like they're trying to stop you from doing what you enjoy. And is that what they're actually doing? Maybe not. Maybe it sounds like it. I think a great example is video games. Your parents are saying, don't stop playing video games. You need to stop. You need to focus on school. But what does that actually mean? It's not they're trying to stop you from having fun. What that means is they're trying to get you on the right path. So if anything, they're trying to teach you discipline, and maybe they're not going about it the right way. But that's what's happening. And we have completed the hike. Thank you so much for watching and listening. This was the Winter Valley hike. And in the Winter Valley, this is where we like to take calm walks, just seeing things, just the ambience, the atmosphere. I'm just enjoying it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I was able to help you in any way, any form. And if I wasn't, then I apologize. Then I wish I could do something for you, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe everything I've said you've already come to understand. And I think, if anything, then I would like to think that I'm helping you strengthening your own belief. Oh my god, I ran out of this space. Anyways, bottom line is, I hope you've enjoyed what I've been able to give you. I hope that I've been able to be of service and do my part in trying to better the world. And maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but I am doing my part in trying to put myself forward to help that cause. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. This was Winter Valley Hike. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Tune in for more videos. Unfortunately, not like this. Maybe another time I'll be able to do one like this. But tune in for more scary videos, for more fun videos of games that are fun and scary, and we'll be able to get through it together. We're going to be enjoying each other's company. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.